Here's the thing about desiring to slow down. It's not just about quitting your job and moving to the country, becoming quote unquote self sufficient with a couple dozen chickens, maybe a dairy cow, and of course, sourdough bread. Life is hard, always. No matter what your day job is, whether you live in the countryside or the big city, somewhere in between, there are challenges. Life is full of times where you have to hold the joys and the sorrows at the same time. Slowing down is about making a choice to focus on the hard times and the sweet ones. Let me expand a bit. It's in realizing that life is full of moments, and we need to zoom out and see the big picture. What do we envision our lives looking like? And I'm not talking about how much money we have or what material possessions we own. I'm talking about how do we want to spend our time? What kind of childhood do we see our children reflecting on when they're adults? How does our community know us? And where do our hearts rest and our bodies serve? Perhaps it's thinking about what your funeral will look like. What was your impact? Who is showing up? What does life look like for me and my family living out our values? Okay, zoom back into the micro moments where we make choices every single day and ask ourselves, does this choice, this action, these words, this rhythm, or this schedule bring me a step closer to the big picture I'm desiring for my family? Am I intentionally choosing what I do with my time? So we all have 24 hours, but we all have different needs and different priorities, so let's honor that. And let's be reflective of our own hearts and our personal actions. If you aren't living with intentionality, you'll never be able to slow down and truly enjoy life. Okay, when I became a mom, as most of us who transitioned into parenthood have found, I have changed. I'm no longer the Victoria I was before. And that doesn't feel like a bad thing. I was good before and I'm good now, and I'm growing. Because of this deep love, my mind is more open to possibilities and opportunities. My heart is focused on doing my best and being my best for my children. And sometimes I'm considering things that would surprise the pre-parent me. Right now, I'm prioritizing having a calm voice, a soft, gentle demeanor, all the time, but especially as I interact with my kids. I'm trying to model gentleness and creativity and how problems are solved. I have a 4 and almost 2-year-old, and so you can imagine how this becomes something that shows up in my everyday. And I see this goal of mine that it fits into the big picture that I have for my family. Let's be 100% honest here though. Have I yelled at my kids and have I shut down learning opportunities for the sake of convenience? Yeah. And will I do it again? Likely. But I'm reminded of my goals and I reestablish our connection, tend to the needs of our relationship when I fail. As long as we keep earnestly giving our best to work towards our goals in every micro moment we are blessed with, our successes will be at the forefront and build that vision we hope for, little by little, every day. Our small actions make a big difference. Each little 1% adds up. Every good parent would agree our kids deserve the best. Our children become our number one priority to foster their growth and advocate for their well being. But I think all too often here in North America and probably other parts of the world, we mess this up. We don't know how to take this understanding and make the quote unquote best actually happen because we're all defining best wrong. So I'm an early childhood educator and my experience in education is in child development. So I want to tell you right now two things. You, as the parent, are the expert of your own child. You know them on the absolute deepest level. You know what makes them tick and their specific individual needs. I hope that feels like an encouragement to you, because that's what I'm intending it to be. You got this. And I want to tell you this: your children need you to slow down, like now. Please allow me to give you permission to let go of the many things that feel necessary in your family lives right now, that may even be good and do good, but they hold you back from facilitating the slow childhood you're desiring for your children and family as a whole. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. That's, of course, a famous quote from Mother Teresa. We're all dreaming about slowing down a bit in our lives, aren't we? At least if you're finding yourself watching this video, chances are that you are seeking it. Slowing down, that's not a one-size-fits-all statement. Maybe it's helpful to make a list. One column for things I can change and one column for things I can't. When you wake up in the morning, what has to happen in order to survive? What happens that contribute to a healthy life but could come in various forms or times of day or week? What is filling your time that is just for fun or not fun, but you do, that really isn't necessary or don't bring you closer to your values? So just to be clear, I'm not suggesting we strip all joy-filled things out of our lives. Actually, it's the opposite. But we have to let go of some things to get us out of the hustle. Consumerism, both physical merchandise and anything else we consume, tells us the lie: if only you buy this, then life would be good. That includes social media and streaming and Botox. It's letting go of the lies you're told from a place of fear. There's something worth trusting, and it's not products or companies, but trust is definitely a part of this. My husband and I started seeking a slower life. We made the choice that I would close my business, which, by the way, I created from scratch and operated for 5 years as an entrepreneur. And I still am so proud of all that I accomplished. But I had to take a leap of faith and trust that we would have enough money on one income to manage life so that I could tend to our family as my first priority. As an aside, I do have a part-time job and other volunteer roles. And I'm not saying someone who works full-time does not tend to their family life or are less than me because they made a choice. Slowing down looks different for each family, and it's not a one-size-fits-all matter. Each of our hearts, bodies, and minds have varying capacities and gifts. Life gives us seasons, and we should regularly revisit what serves us and our family's needs and priorities in each season we find ourselves in. If we're letting go of how screens and technology have a hold on our lives, then when you revisit life pre-technology, you will remember just how much of actual life you're missing. There's so many good things we have in our modern world, but let's try to disentangle ourselves from what is worth keeping and what we need to slough off so that we can feel lasting satisfaction in our lives again. But it's hard work. Just like anything good, it takes hard work to slow down your life. You have to make hard choices and be countercultural. But I promise you will discover a deep sense of peace, content, and utter joy in your life when you strip back the chaos and seek slower living. My family and I are on this journey because we know what lays ahead when we master the skill of slowing down. We've seen glimpses of it. We know what is good and right sits somewhere between us reading together, tickle fights, and gentle I love yous as our babies drift to sleep in our arms. It's in the soaking up, not the rushing through. The good life is there, in reach. We just have to clean things up a bit, dust it off, and reposition our hearts to absorb it. I'm so glad you joined me today, and I hope you found a little tidbit of encouragement to take along with you. Would you consider subscribing and following along so we can keep this conversation going? I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now, friends.